Now let's talk about logical equivalence. Before we go there, let's learn a couple new terms. One is tautology. A tautology is when you have a compound proposition that's always true. So no matter what combinations of true and false for the variables, the result is true. And here's an example of one of those. This one only has two variables, but here's the not Q, the P or Q, and then when you OR them all together, the result is true for every combination. Now remember, we got a tautology when we worked on a problem together. So here's a compound proposition, and once we worked through it all the way, we got all truth values for every single combination. The result was true. That's called a tautology. Now, there's another option, and that's the contradiction, and that's when everything is false, no matter what the inputs are. So here's an example of that. When you work through this problem, you find out that the truth value is false in all cases, whatever combination of true and false for the variables are. And that's a contradiction. Now, being logically equivalent means that two different compound propositions have the same truth values in all cases. And there's an operator for it, and that's this operator with 3 lines. So it's kind of like an equal sign, but it has 3 instead of 2. And what you do is you need to look at, there's 2 different propositions, right? The one on the left and the one on the right. And you can just draw a truth table that reflects these. Now, there's only 2 variables in these propositions, so we only need the 8 different combinations, and we'll just work on the left one first, and we'll do what's in parentheses first, which is the P or Q, and get the result to that, and then we'll do the P or Q implies Q and get the truth values for that. Now that's the complete proposition on the left, so let's do the proposition on the right, which is P or Q, and the truth values for that are in our truth table now. And when you compare these in each case, so when every combination of true and false, the result is exactly the same. And that means that these 2 propositions are logically equivalent. And that's how you identify logical equivalence.